I want to introduce Brian Gibbs, our speaker tonight. I've known him since like 2005, probably.
Yeah.
Is that when Wild Wing opened? Maybe. Were you working there?
Yeah.
All right. So wow, that's only what 10 years or so. Um, so yeah, we both have moved along since those jobs.
Absolutely.
So tell us about your journey from why did you become an insurance guy?
Huh.
Ooh. Surprise
Yes.
question.
Well, after 16 years in law enforcement, kind of like the market, law enforcement, it has its trends, and things started trending not in favor of law enforcement. So it was time to get out. It was getting more dangerous, more restriction put on law enforcement officers, and it just wasn't, it was never lucrative, I'll tell you that. So,
What? Think about all those drug raids. Who gets the money?
hey, right. So I did 10 years with the Bureau, actually. My last 10 years of law enforcement was with the FBI on the Safe Streets Task Force. Had a lot of fun down there, a lot of experience. But what really drove me to exit law enforcement was I had my son.
There you go.
I had my son, and I had things just clicked and said, you know what, I got to get out of here. So my wife, at the time, she had a State Farm office, or she had a State Farm office, and she said, why don't you get an insurance? I said, nah, I'm still out here having fun still. That's boring, sitting in the office and
Boring.
typing on the computer. No. 3 years went by, she asked me again, am I getting your insurance license? I said, you know what, that really don't sound too bad right now. So I started my journey then, got my license, still working in law enforcement, and then State Farm opportunity came about. It was a traditional opportunity, which means it's a come with the book of business. Agent in Watkinsville retired.
Ooh.
Yeah, big agent. Split his book several ways. Interviewed for one of the spots, and my great sales leader, Cliff Bonds, gave me the opportunity, and I never looked back.
What year was that?
This is 2018.
2018.
2018, I opened September 1. So it's been a journey since then. I love it. I still get to serve people like I did in law enforcement, just in a different capacity. And
How much happier capacity usually?
Yes. Yes. Much happier capacity. Much more, less aggressive capacity too.
Right.
So, but it's great. It's great. I love it. I love talking to people about their about protecting their assets, and asking them why they what keeps them up at night, why they do the things that they do, and give them the opportunity to help them protect what they need to protect. So that's my journey, and I've trained a great staff to kind of emulate what I do and what I learned, and they're great. And get to spend a lot of time, not at the golf course, just not getting into golfing, but coaching sports. That's what I do as a passion.
You do like football and baseball and that other stuff?
Coach football, baseball, coach basketball before, done it all. Track. So
All right.
it's fun.
So like, did you have to like buy this book of business, or did you were already so great and you interviewed and they kind of let you take some of it over?
Yeah, my interview was perfect. State Farm says, you know what? Put your checkbook away. Don't worry about it. We got you covered. No, State Farm is one of the greatest opportunities where you don't have to purchase a book. So it's given to you. Most all states and farm bureaus, you have to purchase your book of business, but State Farm they give it to you.
Wow.
Yeah, it's a great opportunity, fantastic opportunity. Um, so it's up to you how you want to grow your book of business, marketing, advertising.
Yeah.
State Farm has plenty of opportunities to help you along the way, and but it's great.
So, we're here at a real estate investor meeting.
That's right.
What kind of great insurance do you have specifically for investors?
So, what a couple of products that we do offer for investors is we have a landlord policy. It's called a rental dwelling.
Rental dwelling.
Rental dwelling policy. So, give me a call my office. Say I like a RDP, rental dwelling policy. You know exactly what to do.
Do you have to be like under a certain amount of units?
No.
Okay.
You can have 1, you can have 10, you can have 50. So with a rental dwelling, it's just like a regular homeowner's policy, but it doesn't cover personal property because the personal property doesn't belong to you; it belongs to your tenant, which enter in the chat renters insurance, and that's where we would come back and provide renters insurance to your tenants, and that way all bases are covered. So
It's been a long time. I haven't rented since a while ago. How much, if somebody's renting a local, like their house is $2,000 a month, 2,000 square feet, 3 or 4 people, obviously that's tough. But what is there like an average renter insurance amount?
for renters insurance, it goes by how much personal property you have. So on the average for 25,000 worth of personal property, our rent insurance rates are great, about $9 to $12 a month.
Oh, wow. Still cheap.
Yeah,
All right.
still cheap.
All right.
Renters policies are fantastic. It also covers personal liability,
All right.
anywhere from 100,000, 300, 500,000, a million, however much.
For $12 a month.
$12 a month. Can't beat it. Yeah.
So most of I think all the property managers I've ever worked with, in Athens at least, required renter's insurance because, it's a smart thing to do.
Right.
Now, let me ask you this. Is there any way I did self-storage for a while.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the things you do in self-storage is try to find an older property that's not run modern. And the modern way to do it is to sell insurance to all your tenants.
Right.
And it'll be like, it's pretty simple. If everything's a 10 by 10 or an 8 by 10 or whatever, it's like going to be a certain amount, like $6 or $7 a month. But then I can say, well, it's $9 a month and then make $2. Actually, it's usually more like $3 or $4 a month and charge them 7 to 10 extra, or bake it in and say, at our place, you get free insurance and you pay $100 a month. And the owner of the property gets to make a few dollars a month. Is that even a thing in the landlord insurance world?
Ooh. I'm sure it is. I've heard it before also. Not lately, not since I've been in the industry. However, that would be pretty risky on a landlord, I would think, because you're insuring, perils are endless. I mean, you could have a house fire, hurricane, dog bite, So that falls on the landlord if he's conducting business like that. However, let's say a dog bite, all of the personal liability, 100,000, 150,000 medical bills, and who's going to eat that?
Right.
So, answer state.
But if the tenant had the insurance, it's just all on the tenant.
It's all on the tenant. That's the great thing, and that's why I ask. I have meetings with apartment complexes who don't require renter's insurance, and I stress, hey, listen, if things happen, things happen on your property that you don't know about, you shouldn't have the liability on you require your tenants to purchase their own renter's insurance. A lot of apartment companies partner with,
Like have a preferred partner or something?
Yeah, a lot of them have, erenters.com or, things like that. However, what they don't tell you that a lot of those don't protect the insured's personal property. It's just liability, because that's the only thing the apartment complex cares about is the liability.
Right.
It doesn't protect the.
So if all your stuff burns up in some of these places, they might not even know it's not covered.
Correct. So I suggest please read the contract, read your insurance policies, and look for personal property. Look to see how much personal liability you have, loss of use. All those factors go into what makes a policy good.
Yeah. Well, separate from that, you helped me with when I was flipping a house, a couple, and I needed insurance.
That's right.
And that was, what was that called?
Rental dwelling.
Oh, you still did a rental dwelling?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So it's like, when is it necessary to do like construction insurance? Only if it's new construction?
No, if you purchase a property and it's going to be 6 months, 8 months before it's available, then we'll put an endorsement
for builder's risk.
We'll put in a builder's endorsement on there, which protects the building materials, lumber, all that stuff in the event of a theft or damage or anything like that. So that endorsement is placed on there when the property is finished. We remove that endorsement, and you have a normal rental dwelling policy.
All right.
Yep.
That was pretty good.
Yeah.
I didn't, because it was definitely, one of them was pretty close to the similar size as my house, but it was a better price.
Yeah, rental dwellings are a lot cheaper, a lot lower cost in premium than regular homeowners policy for that reason. We're just covering the liability, not the personal property and the structure itself. So.
All right. So like as far as insurance goes, is there like anything you specialize in or something that you love doing better than others?
Absolutely. We offer, of course, home and auto insurance, renter's insurance, business insurance, run a lot of artisan contractors policies, remodel insurance. A lot of contractors come and get their insurance with us. We have pretty good rates on those. Barbers, hairstylists, really good rates. We see a lot of those come through the door. Life insurance is really big. Do a lot of life insurance. That's the hard stats for you. The number one used insurance is life insurance.
Number one used?
Yeah.
Really? More than auto accident insurance or auto?
Well, if you think about it.
Not everybody crashes a car, but everybody dies.
There you go. So if you have life insurance and you keep it, you're going to use it. That's for sure. I'm not going to wood. I ain't going to say this. I'm not.
What? Somebody's not going to die?
No. I haven't used my auto insurance since. Right. So you think about it like, man, I'm, all right money, but, it's the unknown, and that's why you have insurance. And it's a great way to protect yourself. We do umbrella policies. We do bonds. At our office.
What does that mean?
If you need a bond for a vehicle, somebody loses their title.
That.
Yeah. We do bonds and
mobile home bonds.
That
happens a lot
insurance.
Around here. All right.
Mobile homes. We do. I said commercial. We do. You name it.
So you have like the whole gamut of insurance, right?
Pet insurance.
Pet insurance.
Yeah.
Show of hands. Who's insuring their doodle out there? I know I probably need to.
Be surprised, man.
Well, is it insuring if the pet bites or hurts somebody else, or is it insuring if you lose your pet?
It's insuring the medical.
Medical insurance for the pets. My dog eats a lot of dumb things. I need to think about this.
Yep.
I don't know if you guys thought about doodles. I did not research it. They eat a lot of dumb things. Yesterday, he ate a whole stick. I thought he was just chewing it up to chew it. He was swallowing the whole thing. Yeah. Anyway.
Yep.
Yeah.
We have bank products, car loans, credit cards, you name it.
Wow. What do you mean loans? Like
Bank loans.
State Farm is offering loans.
That's right.
Oh wow.
That's right.
Home equity loans.
We partner
Home equity
with
line of credit.
with U.S. Bank
Okay.
and take our services to them.
All right.
So
what is your best advice for a new real estate investor who hasn't bought insurance for anything except for maybe their car and their own house? What advice? Like, what do they need to look for when trying to buy insurance for an investment property?
I would say look for the dwelling coverage. Make sure the dwelling coverage is adequate enough to cover what you want to insure. That's number one. Two, make sure you have the correct endorsements in place to cover your assets, because a lot of companies out here will just sell you a policy just to cover an event of a total loss. But you may show up one day and a pipe burst and your floors are flooded and you need more floors, and that's not covered because they didn't put the backup and sewer drain endorsement on there.
Ooh.
So definitely review it. If it's not with me, if it's the policy not with me, I'll be happy to sit down and review what you have with another company. Just make sure you have what you need in place for what you're doing. If you have multiple units, that's a bigger discount also. So I think three or more is a discount, and over 7 is another discount.
All right.
So that's with us.
I remember Rob had a question earlier, or do you want to ask that off the air?
No, I was going to say, like, as far as a lot of us like to flip houses, and obviously, whether somebody decides to do that or not, they should probably have some type of insurance coverage on the property while they're in the process of flipping the house, while you have contractors around there, and before the house sells, when other people are coming in and out. What advice can you give to that about coverage?
That would be more of definitely need a policy, and make sure there's adequate liability coverage for that. We talk about people enter in and out the house, and workers, people fall, people step on nails, stuff like that. You definitely make sure you want to have adequate liability protection over that house.
Does liability insurance ever take place of like what workers' comp might? Like if somebody falls downstairs that's a worker and they don't have the right insurance?
So big difference. So if you have an LLC that you're using to flip your houses, make sure that LLC has a general liability policy. So that will cover, and maybe workers' comp, depending on what you're doing. I don't know if some people have the workers' comp separate in a separate entity.
Right.
Then they have the GL, the general liability. But make sure you have a general liability to cover everything that goes on pertaining to the business. Then you have, during the construction, during selling the house, you have that rental dwelling policy in place. If you're having tenants in there, the policy is already in place. If you're selling it, then it's terminated at the time of the sale. So, but definitely the workers' comp policy covers if one of your employees, W-2 employees, are injured
Do they have to be an employee? Because I've heard different stories. Like if you're hiring a subcontractor,
So
maybe they're not covered for anything.
right, if they're a subcontractor, but they're always working for you, and you can show that, and they're doing the same job, then they're covered. But a lot of people, they'll pick up somebody on the street and hey, come paint real quick. They won't be covered.
Gotcha. Anybody got any crazy stories or questions about? You got any sad stories over there, Christian? Or have you always had good insurance?
Sure, it's been okay.
Always okay. Any questions on the social media?
Not that I've seen. Now we'll circle through.
Rob's looking right now. You guys got any questions over there? Do you have insurance on your properties?
I do have one comment. So Albert says he had a building endorsement while building, and because he had like $15,000 materials stolen, State Farm helped take care of that. So
Nice.
Way to go, Albert.
I guess that's another aspect is you've got a bunch of tools or equipment there. Somebody, or like I guess like Sean Hayes' story where you had the appliances at the place.
The day he put appliances in,
Right.
the neighbors watched,
They came.
and when he left, they borrowed the appliances.
Mm.
So is that like a special extra, or is that like covered under
That's-
your regular? That's their theft covered. Yeah.
Absolutely.
So investors, that means go ahead in the tough areas, buy those properties, and get the right insurance.
Is there like a minimum length of time? Because like you say, you need the same example. You're flipping. You want to flip as quick as possible. So to establish to buy insurance and then like only to cancel within whatever 60 days. Is that doable?
It's doable, and I will tell you that most companies don't like the really quick flips. 6, 8 a year, they're okay with, because they're like renewals. The really quick ones, after a while, they may start underwriting canceling, just because they know that okay, this business had this policy for 2 months, they had this policy for a month. It seems like this is the trend, and they may start asking questions.
Can a policy be moved around? Like I'm flipping one Main Street and then I'm done. Then I start from 2 Main Street. Can a policy
You can
go?
It can replace. You can have a policy replace another policy, so they can go like that. But where you're, that would be, you wouldn't want more general liability insurance, a commercial GL policy,
Okay.
if you're flipping.
Oh, to
At that
protect the
pace.
actual business and
Correct.
I get you.
Correct. So to go back when we start talking about general liability, if you're doing it under especially an LLC or S corp, then have that in place. That should be maybe the third thing. Start your business, go to Georgia Secretary of State, get your insurance. And we're talking $400 or $500 a year for a general liability policy for a realtor or an investment company.
So, as a real estate agent, you would advise
Absolutely.
get a general liability policy.
Yep.
500K coverage. How much?
$1 million.
$1 million.
Start at $1 million.
$1 million.
Yep.
And it costs about how much?
$459, $600
Wow.
a year.
Deal. I will sign up for that because I am not covered.
A lot of realtors just they get it just because they their job.
Anything can happen.
Anything can happen.
Tell us the dumbest story where somebody was covered, so then it really wasn't that dumb.
Ooh.
Or a sad story. Either one. People love stories.
Yeah. Tons. I have one person, one customer came in, bought a new car, got insurance, I think on a Thursday. Sunday, he hit somebody on the Atlanta highway.
Hit a person or hit a car?
Person was coming. Yeah. Yeah. It was covered. Yeah, it was covered. And it wasn't, I mean, we paid out, but I think it was more on the pedestrian fault. Not a crosswalk, things of that nature. So, but it worked out for our insurer. That's all we want. Nobody died.
Great.
Yeah. So tons of stories.
That's a sad and good story.
Yeah, absolutely.
Maybe.
But and that's thank goodness he came and got that insurance on Thursday, because some people buy a new car and say, oh, we'll wait a week, and because they'll let you leave the dealership if you're trading in a car.
Right.
So this wasn't a trade-in. He went and purchased a new car and said, you know what, let me get insurance. And bought the car, came to the office, did the policy.
Pretty smart. Yeah. Because, also, you can always maybe backdate it. Not necessarily that far, but also if you, let's say, in the property world, if I have it, if you're getting a loan, you got to pay the whole year up front. And then, if you only owned it 6 or 8 months, like you're talking about, you get some of that money back, right?
Yep. Get prorated amount.
Prorated.
That's right.
Yeah. So it's stupid to not have the insurance. I have heard many stories of accidents not accidents, but just theft.
Mm-hmm.
I know a lot of people in the Athens market. So if you're scared about investing in Athens, you should be. People are going to steal your stuff, likely.
Oh, absolutely. Yep. Few stolen trucks found north side of Athens.
Wow.
Yeah. Yep. So
yeah.
Life insurance. I mean, you can't. Tons of stories. People come in on Friday and they're out of here on Sunday.
What?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. Need that. Need life insurance.
Show of hands. Who does not have life insurance? Yeah. You still don't have life insurance? Can I buy a policy on that guy?
Just come in. Just get a 10-year term, just to get you today. Just to get you covered.
It's still cheap while you're still young.
It's still cheap. How old are you?
44.
$25-$30 a month for $250,000. Can't beat that.
Right.
Just to have the peace of mind. I ask people, what keeps you up at night? And they say, me not waking up. Well, this is what you need.
Right. Man, we should end it on that dead note. But Brian Gibbs, State Farm,
That's right.
Watkinsville, thanks for coming out.
Thank you.
How do people get in touch with you?
You can reach me at 770-725-7000, bkgibbs.com.
bkgibbs.com.
That's right.
That's the website.
That's the website.
bkgibbs.com. And we'll have a link in our YouTube video below or somewhere on the video.